What's up, you guys? This is Shutter here, and welcome to another, I guess I could call it another Minecraft video. Although it's technically not a part of Mackenzie's series or Sierra's series, it's a part of my own Minecraft review series. Oh, shoot. My controller's not connected. Okay, here we go. In this Minecraft review series, I'm going to be reviewing the amazing city maps and various different maps based upon real life cities, fake cities, that sort of thing. So long story short, I'm going to be doing city map reviews and just reviewing their scale of quality and their features and all that. And I really picked the best map first, primarily because Minecraft Greenfield is a large city map. It's like the largest city in Minecraft ever, and I managed to get it on Bedrock Edition, so I can use my controller with it. If you guys want a link to the Bedrock version of the download, not the Java version, because you guys can find that pretty much anywhere, but for Bedrock you cannot almost. So I will leave a link to that in the description so you guys can find the Bedrock version for Xbox, Windows, Switch, PlayStation, etc. You guys can actually get a copy of that to put on your realm if you need to go to Xbox, or to just download it to your PC as a .mc world file. Now, one of the cool things about this map is that the architecture is somewhat LA styled, but it's all on a 1-to-1 block scale, which means 1 block equals 1 meter. And in case you haven't noticed, the realism of this in terms of like traffic signs, road quality, building quality is really stellar. Not to mention the texture pack, but we'll get to the texture pack later. So the first place I'm going to start is the Eagles Stadium, which is really just this big thing here. And this big stadium, really not very many issues with it. The only thing you'll notice here is that the stadium seating is very steep, which you don't always typically see that in a real football stadium. It is somewhat level, not too level, but level enough. Netting is actually really good, and the goalposts, well, they're goalposts. Now let's go ahead and review the inside of this thing, because I kind of want to get a better look at it. So I'm liking really how this compares to a real football stadium. I mean, it really does look just like a real football stadium. Granted, it's a fictional team named the Eagles, but it's still a real football stadium in comparison. And the way that there is a highway that actually passes underneath the stadium, and parking for the stadium underneath the stadium, which is good for if you have a congested city, metropolis like Greenfield, where parking for parking garages and whatnot is not always an option above ground because of how busy it is. You can't really expand that much without having to knock buildings down. Just ask New York City, they have to do the same thing. So this is, for them, this is really good how they mimic the metropolis effect, where you have buildings that have to be torn down to get new buildings, and other buildings that have to be torn down to get new parking. It's very realistic on that regard, without shying away from adding a few interesting things in the map. But aside from that, it's a pretty realistic city. The one thing I would say that needed to be improved on is the laneage. And by laneage, I mean how many lanes, not on the interstates, those are fine. How many lanes on the city streets? Because they do a good job of having 4-lane, 2-lane, and they also do a good job of having 3-lane and 5-lane roads. That's good for city streets. There are some city streets that have 6, and there's some, and which is rare, but they can occur. And there are also some city streets that are actually, well, they're very different in terms of they're actually a one-way street, They don't have very many 6-lane city streets, normal streets, and they don't really have very many, um, at least not very many one-way streets as from what I counted in the downtown area. Downtown is full of multi-way streets, and typically the more downtown you get, you'll see more one-way streets. With this is not really the case. With this downtown, you'll actually see a lot of multi-way streets rather than okay for to an extent, but I kind of want to see some of that balance that you see in like areas like New York or Chicago, where downtowns, or Raleigh, where downtowns have that one-way street effect, where if you go downtown, you'll see a lot more one-way streets than if you were in other portions of town. I would like to see that effect. That effect just really doesn't resonate with me. I don't know, maybe you guys count and see something different than I do, but that's what I see. I don't see enough effect on that. They did a good job of mimicking one of the major LA freeways. I think it's Interstate not 5. I think it's Interstate 4 in LA. I think it's Interstate 4 in LA with the intersection of Interstate 2 maybe in LA. They do a good job of mimicking that here with this road junction. They do a fabulous job with this road junction. Outstanding. This could not be done more perfect, and if you have a more perfect copy, show me that copy, because I will probably argue against it that this one is probably much more accurate. But there might be some people who can get it as just as accurate. But if you have something that you feel is more accurate, please feel free to show me, because I really want to compare the two, just so that I can get a good sense as to how accurate this really is. But from what I understand, this is pretty accurate. And but not only that, but they do a very good job of mimicking the port too. I'll have to show you guys the port. Because the port has both the cruise ship line and the shipyard line. They're together, but they're actually separate. So the terminus, that area, gets most of the actual dockyard ships, and the eastern terminus, because I'm facing south right now, the eastern terminus gets more of the cruise ships, which is actually really cool. So I really do like that style of it. The other thing I like about the map is how the different districts, or sections of Greenfield are broken up. You have downtown plus Westfield Greenfield, that makes up the downtown peninsula. You have Longport Keys, which is your islands. Those are your bar islands, like the Outer Banks for the Keys. You have the Eagle Point plus Dawson plus Greenfield State University. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. That actually, or it might be UCLA, and it just might be Greenfield University for naming reasons. But correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But you have Eagle Point, Dawson, and University. That makes up Eagle Point. And then you have everything to the north of the river, north of downtown, where I just was about 2 minutes ago with the um, Interstate 4. That in the game is considered Ashfield territory, and the way that they do the skyscrapers is really unique. The more closer you are to downtown, the more skyscrapers you get on the south side of the river, and you have in the suburban portion where the skyscrapers are shorter on the closer to the water, but they're still there. Then the farther north you get, the terrain or height of the skyscrapers changes. It gets dramatically lower. On top of that, the farther south you go, um, from the river, you see less skyscrapers in downtown, but then you see like a business district where the stadium was, where it's just absolutely phenomenal job of like doing businesses like fire stations and mom and pop stores and that sort of thing just south of the main metropolis line where the big quote unquote skyscraper bubble is. And in Eagle Point, you have the same thing where you get the the couple of buildings, maybe like 5 or 6 tall buildings close by downtown where the drawbridge is, and then it just becomes like nothing but houses in the rec center and the university and like your chain retailers like Walmart, which is in this game has been named Walcart for copyright reasons, and a McDonald's variant is here, that sort of thing. So you get all of that, and then you have this side of town, north of the port, but south of Ashfield, and on the west side of Greenfield. And I'm gonna be real here. I am an African American, and I kind of take some issue with this. And if you guys are also African Americans, you might see what I'm talking about. In real life, you see gentrification. You see where one side of town is pictured a certain way over the rest. And I think the stereotypicalness of it is present in this map. With this area, you have your quote unquote what they call hood area. It's run down, it's very destroyed, and I'm not sure why they put that stereotype in this map, but they have it stereotyped in this map. It starts from like the West Greenfield interstate line, and it goes up to the new interstate construction zone, and then that's kind of like the dead zone in between those 2 points. And it's like there's virtually no businesses, factories are gone out of business, and that sort of thing. Houses are in sham conditions. So the way that they portrayed it, I'm not a fan of that, and that's maybe just me. From my perspective, I don't like that because that stereotypes one group of people and puts them all in the same bubble, and I'm just not for that. There are some people who might be okay with it because at the end of the day, you're right. If you're thinking this, it is just a Minecraft map, but you guys still have to look at it from the human perspective. From a human perspective, that can be offensive to some individuals if you guys are grasping what I'm saying here. That it can be offensive to some individuals if they have a history with that sort of thing. Then it can become a problem for them. Maybe not everybody, but some of them might have an issue with that. So I'm I'm very interested in learning why they did it. And I think they mainly did it for just for like building it as like a real life representation of what their city is based off of, which is LA, right? But at the same time, they it's kind of a pick and choose battle, and I don't I don't I kind of argue against that. But the Minecraft review is almost complete. I have one more thing to go over, and that's the construction zone for the Mine Kia factory and this warehouse district. Also, the new, I think it's a tennis stadium. Yeah, I think it's a tennis stadium. But the construction for all of these other places, no, this might be a soccer stadium. It looks like a soccer stadium. Yeah, this is probably a this is probably a basketball arena because it looks circular. So yeah, this is a basketball arena. It's circular. I'm gonna guess that this is based off of either the Clippers or the Lakers stadium. Even I don't know why it has an open roof. It just does, or it might be based off of Oracle. What's it? Oracle Arena. It might be based off of Oracle Arena. Um, so that's a possibility too. I think it might be based off of Oracle Arena, and if it is based off of Oracle Arena, that might explain the gigantic hole and the shell like design to it. I still don't seem like that's more accurate than it might be off of Oracle. But these construction zones are really massive, and the parking spaces for this are huge. They also have the American flag, Well, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's review video. Let me know what you guys think. If the video appears choppy and the frame rate appears slow a little bit, I'm actually gonna try. I'm actually working on fixing that. I will probably have this video released and then have like a video that has a better frame rate on it. Um, YouTube normally improves the video quality itself, but if you guys have any frame rate issues a tad bit, let me know if it's noticeable to you, and I'll fix it because I'm trying to get my Streamlabs to work. Bear with me, it's slow, but the good news is that you guys can actually hear the audio from this if you guys choose to just listen to it instead or download it on your phone. And that's a great thing. I really like that. So at the end of this video, I have to say, God bless the United States. And yes, as always, God bless America.